is that his department prepared a briefing which said there was a large clandestine transfer of funds earmarked for the federal election from the People's Republic of China consulate in Toronto. Will the Prime Minister commit to return any of the funds that the Liberal Party, its local associations, his leadership campaign, or any Liberal nomination contestants received from the PRC? Yes or no?
The allegations, like the hits on Billboard, just don't stop. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun, joined by fellow political columnist Warren Kinsella. Warren, it's hard to remember a time politically where it was just a constant drip, drip, drip of allegations, putting the government on its back foot. But that's what's been happening for weeks, if not months now, with these allegations of China's election interference. And Justin Trudeau, I think they believe they've got it under control, but to me, that seems delusional.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is extraordinary, just so you and I, we pay attention to this kind of stuff all the time, but the lead prosecutor here are intelligence agencies, whether they're in Canada or in other jurisdictions or both. Like, these leaks that are going to news organizations like ours are coming from intelligence agencies. Why is that happening? Because they are very dissatisfied with the response of the Trudeau government to the Chinese interference allegations about our elections in 2019 and 2021. That's why this is happening, and it is extraordinary. I can't recall anything like this happening before.
And it's not just CSIS. I mean, let's unpack this. There have been leaks about CSIS reports. There have been leaks about NSI COP, as they keep referring to it now, the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians, PCO reports. So the Privy Council office, one of Global's most recent tidbits that they dropped is that the Privy Council office prepared a report for the Prime Minister. Now, this is his department. They prepared a report for the Prime Minister based off of 100 other intelligence reports, and they reported to him that there was Chinese election interference, including funding of candidates. And he still stands up and says, we don't know anything about funding of candidates. So is someone planting fake information with the media?
No,
is Trudeau just trying to lie, trying to get out of a bad situation?
Not only did he shrug about receiving that information, confirmation that there was, in fact, interference in our democratic electoral process, he did nothing about it. And that is where the scandal begins. As you and I know, going back to Watergate, it's seldom the break-in. It's usually the cover-up. And what it looks like here is we've got a cover-up of the fact that the Prime Minister of Canada and his most senior officials knew that there had been interference in our elections, and he did nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. And I think that's why the intelligence agencies are responding like they are. They're saying that's not good enough. We're going to force your hand, and we're going to make sure that the public and the media see what you knew and when you knew it.
Now, this could blow up in Pierre Poilievre's face because there are allegations that Conservative candidates got help. But he is saying, let's have a public inquiry. That could hurt him, but at least he's being open. Trudeau is not only saying, he's claiming he's not saying no to a public inquiry, but first I've got to appoint someone in the next few weeks, not days, in the next few weeks, who will look around and mull it over, sit and puff on a pipe in a corner, be a special rapporteur. I love the question Poilievre had. Does this job come with a cape and a sword? What's this special rapporteur? He's got to wait for all of that. He's got to block at committee. He's got to refuse to release documents. He's doing everything he can. I think it was Coyne the other day who said a prime minister who didn't want the truth to come out would behave exactly like this one. Poilievre saying, open it all up. Trudeau saying, shut it all down and trust me. That is just such a bad look and a bad comms move.
It is. And the other thing that's bad, and I've written about this in our paper this week, is and you know, and I confess I am a lawyer. I've committed the sin of being a lawyer and taught innocent children and how to be lawyers. And one of the most fundamental principles of law, Brian, going back for centuries, is you can't stand in judgment of yourself. That's just not a conflict of interest. That's a violation of our natural law, our most basic law. And that is the problem here. The beneficiary, the guy that we know the Chinese wanted to win those two elections was Justin Trudeau. They wanted the Conservative Party to be beaten. That is what happened. Now the guy who's the beneficiary of Chinese interference is saying, oh, it's okay, we'll have this special rapporteur, whatever the hell that is, whoever the hell that is, don't worry, that person's going to take care of it. And it's not good enough. In law, Justin Trudeau is not allowed to stand in judgment of himself. That is a violation of the law, and it's a violation of ethics, and it cannot stand.
Got to ask you about this as someone who helped prepare politicians for question period and facing the media and handling all these questions. The other day in the House, Pierre Poilievre stood up and asked what should be a very simple question. He put forward that the allegation that we've all heard that in 2019, before the election, that CSIS briefed the Prime Minister's team that they had concerns about one of his candidates, Han Dong, man who has denied anything went wrong. But Poilievre said, he didn't name Dong, but he did say, CSIS warned you about a candidate. Is this person in your Liberal caucus or cabinet today? He didn't answer the question. He didn't deny it. He didn't come close to answering it. In fact, he didn't even talk about the topic. And this happened more than half a dozen times in English and French. To me, that's saying Trudeau is admitting that he was warned about this candidate by CSIS and that he decided to do nothing, and that this person is sitting in his caucus. So,
well, he's done worse. He's done worse than do nothing. He's defended this guy.
I want to make everyone understand fully that Han Dong is an outstanding member of our team, and suggestions that he is somehow not loyal to Canada should not be entertained.
Like, at the very least, this man, this member of Parliament, should be asked to recuse himself and step back from the Liberal caucus and step back for any kind of discussion, because we don't know what happens in caucus, right? It meets every Wednesday in the Liberal Party. And there was a discussion yesterday of this issue. And MPs are getting extremely nervous. God knows if that played a role in Marc Garneau announcing that he was leaving politics. They are nervous. This is one of those rare instances where a foreign affairs issue may actually have an implication on their domestic political fortunes. And this guy's still in caucus. And Trudeau is still kind of giving a Trudeau-esque shrug and saying, trust me, it's okay. Not good enough this time. You know, I think that he is dreaming in Technicolor if he thinks the journalists are going to let this go, and if the intelligence agencies are going to drop their concern. Neither thing is going to happen.
Well, one of the toughest questioners he faced as he walked into caucus on Wednesday morning was Tonda McCharles of the Toronto Star, solid journalist all around, asking him tough questions. He just talked past her. I don't think that's going to work, but we'll put it to the audience. What do you think? Does Trudeau just talking about process, saying, trust me, does that work for you? Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.